Hey,
Thank you.
Jess.
Thank you for coming out here today in this rain and storm and clapping thunder.
It woke me up last night.
Well, my niece is also here in the studio today playing producer. I'm so thankful for her because our cat acts like a menace when I record, and now I've got Muscle.
He is a very friendly cat, though.
He is, but he tries to do anything to disrupt this recording, and I don't know why he doesn't want a wonderful podcast to get to the people.
He just loves you so much. He wants to be involved. You should interview him, and then maybe that's what he wants.
Do you want to know
It's an
why
interview.
I asked you if you still wanted to record today?
Why?
Because I was raised by a mama that if it rained, the world shut down. And I think you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
But if it rained, we had to cancel our plans. We didn't go to church. We didn't go to the store. The rain shut stuff down so much that when I became an adult, I thought that's what everyone did. And so even though I've broken the habit, I still do want to know if you were raised that way and you still feel that way. Like I try to hold space for rain people.
I'm like, if I have plans, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, if it was 8:00 at night and it was raining,
Pouring.
and you were like, "Are you still on?"
Yeah.
No.
I was so glad you were coming because I've been so looking forward to this. But I used to be a personal trainer and I would train this lady. She was in her 70s. And one day I called her and I said, do you want to cancel do you want to cancel your session? And she said, Lord, why? And I said, well, it's raining, Miss Betty. And she said, that's what I got windshield wipers for. And I just
Love
thought
it.
that's when I had to try to kind of dig deeper, like, where's the disconnect on this?
That's awesome.
So
I want to be Betty.
you do?
I want to be
Me
Betty.
too.
I want to be her.
Do you know, she didn't like to exercise, but she paid me to train her. So I was young. I was like 22. I was very new. I was a very new personal trainer. This is so on brand to what we're going to talk
Yes.
about today. And so we would you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh so hard. We would get in the hot tub and she would do kind of leg kicks for an hour while she told me stories.
Shut up. Please be my trainer. Jesse, where has this been?
And
Where has this been?
everyone that's been a trainer knows that one person that's really just paying for friendship. And you can do everything you want to try to make that person exercise. And that's not what they're there for.
No,
They're just there to
have fun in the hot tub with you.
either they want a counselor or a companion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet, though.
Do you remember how we met?
I do.
You do? Because I don't. You're going to have to jog my memory because that's what.
Do you want me to tell the story?
Why is it bad?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, we were at church.
And
we were giving away free T-shirts to all the kids who were there.
oh, no.
Do you remember this?
Yes. Do you want to tell it? Oh, man, I had suppressed it.
Oh, so I am an 8 on the Enneagram.
Yeah, that's important.
So
Do you just up front, because I know what story you're going to tell. I don't remember it enough to know, do I come out looking like
no,
a jerk or do
I do.
You do?
I do.
Well, do you feel comfortable telling it?
Yes,
Because
it's fine.
I do, because I love you.
I have grown a lot.
Well, I
since then.
don't remember anything. I don't remember anything.
So we were
Awful.
launching the new kids ministry name, and so we decided to give free T-shirts out that Sunday to all the kids.
Yes.
And so your children weren't there. They were with their dad that weekend.
Yes.
I didn't know you. I didn't know your story, but my husband Jeff did.
And your husband he was one of my biggest friendship fans. He just dug me from the first second.
I love it.
His name's Jeff. We'll talk more about him.
So they put me in charge of passing out the T-shirts, and they told me if the child is not there,
They set you up for failure.
we cannot, because we had a limited number of shirts.
Yes.
So you came around the corner and you were like, hey, my kids aren't here today. They're with their dad. Can I get their T-shirts? And I was like, no, they have to be here. And I was like, they said the children had to be here. We have a limited amount of T-shirts. And you looked very defeated.
Did I?
Yes. And then my sweet little husband came up beside
I remember
me.
he said, "Do you know who that is?"
And I was like, "No, I don't know." And he
And
goes,
no one else does either,
"Give
Jeff.
give her the T-shirts." And so I said, "Okay." And that's where it started.
Oh, I guess I would have probably suppressed that because I kinda suppress anything that's a little not difficult, but, like, that's not my favorite
Yeah.
story, and so I put that in a different compartment.
Which I don't wanna dwell on that because I felt
But
we grew after that.
well,
Great friends.
so bridge that gap, though, like, how did we because I attribute you and Jeff, I credit the 2 of you for saving my pandemic. And so, how do we get from that moment to being so close?
So, I feel like one Wednesday night you came waiting for the kids,
Okay.
and you were sitting on the floor
Oh, was?
out in the lobby,
That's
and
so
I was
so
standing
neat.
at the registration table, and
Okay.
then I don't think you really remembered that I was Jeff's wife, and you
Okay.
came up and we started talking, and then you realized I was Jeff's wife, and I think
Yeah.
from there, it kinda grew. Jeff loves Jay.
Yes.
It's like his
Everyone does.
bromance, if he could have
It
one, would be with
is.
Jay, and so
And we acted on that
w
bromance
yeah, a
for
little bit.
several months.
And so, we
Me
went.
I think I do need to correct that
Yeah.
sentence. The 4 of us well, we'll get there in a minute, but the 4 of us, I mean, spent a lot of time
Yeah.
together. The 4 of us,
Yes.
not Jay and Jeff in a bromance. Okay, go ahead.
But we kinda went through a transition in life, and you showed up,
Yes, tell about
and
it, because that
so
made that happen.
yes, so we kind of, stepped away from full-time ministry, and we're
Uh-huh.
just kinda figuring out what life was. You were probably one of the only people from church that,
Yeah,
showed up,
yeah,
was there, reaching out, and
yeah,
so, we just started hanging out and drug our husbands along with it, and,
yeah,
I was working out with a boot camp, and
yeah.
you joined.
Yes,
And so we had, at least 3 days a week in the morning
right.
to,
That was nice,
not
huh?
really listen to what our trainer was
Nope.
saying, and we'd have
Mm-mm.
side conversations and
Mhm.
being told all the
She
time.
made space for us, though.
She did.
She was so lovely, that's Rachel.
Yeah.
She would be like, "Meg and Jess, I know y'all didn't hear what I
Yeah.
said, so this is what y'all are gonna start on, and then just watch everyone."
Yeah.
She knew we were the misfits of the class, but I do remember standing in your neighborhood pool, me and you took about 4 hours, which I'm saying that positively. I needed all the words. You shared with me some personal information that wouldn't be that great if it got out, but you trusted me with it because you knew that it
Yeah.
ended at me. And that meant a lot to me because you were a new friend. And we stood in that pool for 4 hours and you just told me exactly how it went. And I really feel like I feel like those 4 hours were like the source of our connection.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Do you remember how far into the quarantine we were?
I think it was pretty early on.
Or had it happened
No,
yet? Or
I feel like we were hanging out before the
you
quarantine a
do?
little bit,
Okay.
and then the quarantine hit because you were working out, I think in
Yeah.
February, beginning of
Yeah.
February with us.
Yeah, it took me about 11 days to get past the freak out of quarantine. I took a good well, maybe not yeah, maybe around 11 days. I would be modest. And you guys were gonna come over and play in the creek, and I was like, "I can sanitize the four-wheeler and drive it down there and leave it for you, and that way, like, if you need to come to the" I think we had gone out of town, and I was like, "Come to the creek while we're gone, like, just be
Yeah.
out of the city. Come get out of the city and be at our place." And I was like, "I can sanitize the I won't come down there, but I'll sanitize a four-wheeler, and I'll come down there, and I'll leave it for you," and you died
I
laughing.
did.
And I was like, "What?" And you were you clearly needed less than 11 days to get
Yeah.
past everything. And so that helped me to come out of it a little bit. And then I came over to y'all's house, and Cooper, her little boy, at the time in 2020 would have been
7.
7. And we used to say he was my boyfriend. I was his girlfriend. We joked about that. And He shot out of the front door and jumped into my arms,
Mm.
and I looked at you like, "Great, now we're dead. Now we're dead. Now we're all gonna now we," because I was just so stuck in
Yeah.
contact meant the end. It took me 11 days to get out of that in my head, and so when Cooper jumped in my arms, I was like, "The end. Game over."
But it would have been a great ending.
Don't you think?
It would have been really good ending.
I think moments like that are so interesting,
Yeah.
but I wanted to kind of focus today. I like to begin each episode with something really light.
Okay.
Like, I know we're going to probably dig a little bit deeper. And so I always like to start my first question as something like a lot sillier, if you don't mind, being patient with me on that. And so you actually get to choose between two
Oh,
questions.
okay.
So if you don't like the first one, you can ask for the second one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So just something lighter. When you strip everything away, fear, roles, expectations, who are you for real?
Oh, good gracious. That do you really wanna know?
Just something a little lighter. Do you want the second question?
Yeah, let me hear that one, and then I'll decide.
Do you like your dad?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. This is I think it my phone's ringing. I need to go. I need to
You
go.
have to
I
leave,
have to
Meg?
leave.
Shoot.
Either question. I love my dad. I love my dad. My mom, we'll talk
What?
that's a whole nother episode.
No, that wasn't about mom, it was
But I
about
love my
dad.
dad. But,
You got
who
a good
am I?
You
Who
got a
am
good
I?
dad.
I got a good dad.
Eckhart Tolle says when those thoughts, you're not thinking about what you've got to do today. You're not dreading something you said 4 years ago. You're not thinking about the past or the future. The moments when you're just quiet and still,
Mm,
that's you.
yeah.
That's who you need to be learning about and talking to. And that I think I can get about a millisecond with that person each day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
I
what I mean?
I do. I think we, just human nature is, "Oh, I don't wanna deal with that right now.
Yeah,
Let me turn another
yeah,
switch on because it's easier to just keep pushing
yep,
that back and just trying to be what everybody else assumes you are."
yep. We had
So
gone on a little, seed trip to, I think it was Grand Cayman, and I got to do yoga on the beach, and she had us sit and watch the waves, and she wanted us to breathe 40 breaths with 40 waves coming in. And we got done, it was real beautiful, and she said, "Who made it past the third wave?" And of course, there's probably 12 of us,
Yeah.
and no
No.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, congratulations. You're normal. You're like everybody else." But just, I think, learning how to learn exactly who you are without all of those things. I feel like that's where I'm headed, where I want to head with myself and with my relationships so that things can't get clouded or
Yeah.
the distractions that we have every single day. You and I were talking about that. We wanted to talk about health and wellness because that is something that you and I geek out on a
Mhm.
lot. And I loved one of the things you said is you were like, "I want to talk about this and I want to talk about this and I want to talk about this. And then I want to talk about how do we live with all of that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Preach, come on, come over here." So tell me, if you don't mind, do you want to start with like, when did you fall in love with health and wellness and exercise? Was that early on or was it not? It wasn't?
No.
It's just the you I know.
It's just the
Oh,
you know.
wow. Okay, tell
Yeah.
us.
So, health and wellness and fitness, none of that was,
Really?
anything growing up. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
play sports. We didn't We weren't active.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it was always in me, I tried out for basketball, tried out for soccer, but I just
Well,
wasn't good.
I feel like our listeners don't understand the surprise I'm having, so I need you
Mm-mm.
guys I need you guys to know that Meg works out probably 800% more than anyone else you know. And so then go ahead.
So, I just think it was something I never put priority on because I
Yeah.
never saw it as a priority
Yeah.
growing up
Yeah.
in life, and so, I went to college, and one of my best friends was a runner, and she would run every day,
Oh,
and
wow.
I tried it, and I was like, this is not fun."
Yeah, it's a hard in on-ramp.
Yeah,
On-ramp to
you
running is so
and
hard.
I'm like, "Why do you do
I
this?"
feel like only a runner can, survive an on-ramp to getting back into shape running
Yeah,
because it is so hard.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like, "No, I can't breathe."
yeah.
But,
I feel like I have a noose around my chest. Yeah.
yes, it's just
Mhm.
not if it's not
I'm with you.
easy,
Mhm.
it has to start out easy for me
Yeah.
to kind of buy
Build.
into it.
Yeah.
So, really, it wasn't until 2020 that I decided
Really?
yes,
When we
when
met?
we met.
Oh, wow.
So, I had been on this journey to lose weight, and
Yeah.
so I had dropped 70 pounds,
Yeah.
and then, life happened.
Yeah.
Our whole world turned upside down, and
You did that with diet.
yes,
Okay, right
with
before
diet.
I met you.
Yeah,
I met you 70 pounds down from a diet.
yeah.
Okay?
And so I wanted to keep maintaining
Mhm.
that, and so I thought, "Oh, there's this workout group right at the end of my street. Let me go try it out." And so
Yeah.
the first day there, I was hooked. My trainer was just
Just
very
lovely.
yes, so patient. It was gave all these modifications. She made it so fun.
Mhm.
And then, of course, I'm around people. I'm a people person. I
Mhm.
love being in a group of people and just watching and
Right?
learning. And so, from there, I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it just kind of started 5 years
Mhm.
ago. Just jumped in and was like, all right, I'm in.
Right, and Jeff's always been there right by you.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So he likes to bike. So he's more on that realm right now.
Right.
But
I think Jeff jumped in with Camp Gladiator with us,
yeah.
didn't he, for a little bit? And then Jay signed up for the year of online workouts and did Uno session.
Wait, he signed up?
He paid.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't even wanna tell ya.
Oh,
He
man, I could have, like,
done
coerced him
gotten
more.
Well, I really like getting out here on our cement and working out and having the sun come up.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And stretch. He'll go in and shower and go on to work, and I would just stretch and get my coffee. That's my favorite way to do things. It's just hard for me to get up early. And, yeah, so we did it one time. You know the story. Yeah,
No.
you do. You're gonna remember it
Okay.
because I told you the instructor, his entire first session, the instructor had invited 2 women to his garage to be kind of there. They wanted to be in person. They didn't want to take it online, so they were there in his garage. And one girl she was just real negative, couldn't understand why people would just want to do it online. Why would they even just not come in person? And then she was helping someone move, and so she talked about the burden. I guess she didn't think people could hear her,
Oh,
and so she fussed the entire hour, and he didn't know how to be like, "Can you please, like"
be quiet.
and
Shut up.
that was Jay's
First. Yeah.
that was Jay's first impression.
I probably wouldn't do it again either. I'd be like, "What are you making me do, Jesse?"
I would be like, "I'm sure that lady's not gonna be there."
No.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow. Yeah, I no. Mm-mm. I don't know why I don't remember this.
You
I
don't.
wish you have pictures, you have videos of Jay doing this?
Well, no, because it was very early. We had a lot of fun, but something that he and I will do is he'll be on his fitness journey and I'll be on my fitness journey, or I'm not. I just wanna
Mhm.
start one. So I'll blow his to the ground. I'll just blow his up to join me. So we've been married for 8 years, several times across the relationship. I have just been like, hey, can you stop working with that trainer so that we can do this together? Like, I just want to be together. And it sounds so dumb, but we just enjoyed, I thought we enjoyed working out together. And so there's been 2 or 3 times where I've diverted his path to join up with mine, and it will not work.
But
But how are you gonna candy coat this to make me look great?
but
You don't have
you
anything.
get him to come along, so that does show that he
Mhm.
wants to be with you.
I
I think
know.
in his mind he's trying. He's
Mhm.
trying to come alongside of you,
Yes.
support you.
Tell me, how many, sessions have you put in at your outdoor boot camp?
Oh, I think 4 away from 1,200.
1,200
Yes,
sessions.
5 years. That's a 5-year journey.
And so what? And y'all heard me that, Meg? It's mind-blowing. And they say, what do they say, like 10,000 hours? That's definitely, to be a professional, you're definitely at 10,000.
Oh, no, 1,200.
I know, but still.
Can we make it
Let's just
10,000?
bridge the gap.
I'll take it.
There was prep.
Jesse said 10,000.
There was warm up. There
Yeah.
was cool down. There was stuff we didn't log.
Yeah,
There's 10,000 in there somewhere.
I'll say that. Well, just waking up to do it, I
Mhm.
think is an extra hour
Yeah.
to add to it.
Yeah. You were talking to me about you and I sharing the yo-yo in common.
Yes.
I would like to dig deeper into that, because when you said that to me, I was like, I'm kind of more of I started gaining weight and I never stopped. But there was a point when you met me that I started running. I started training for a
Mhm.
trail run, and I dropped a bunch of weight. So you have seen me yo-yo, but I guess I had suppressed it.
Well, I think we go through things.
Yeah.
We get on the other side of it and well, to me, I'm proud that you keep going, right? You keep going. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to think about.
Yeah.
I think when I said yo-yo, I didn't necessarily mean maybe like the fluctuation of weight.
Uh-huh.
I think it's starting something, stopping it, starting something, stopping
Yeah.
it,
Oh,
starting
then
something.
sign me up.
So, because I think that's
Mm-hmm.
how as a woman, there's so many things out there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you open up Instagram, there's another fad, and you're like, oh, this is it. This is the one. I'm going to try it.
Distractions.
Yes.
Yep.
Where when we're already on a journey that's working,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's not the get fit quick, but it's the process is working. We're being successful. We're being patient with ourselves. We're showing up, but yet this is promising quicker results.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. I feel like we've kind of been on this journey of just trying.
I have a pattern of that. It happened to me this week. My gym is, I can see my CrossFit gym from my gym, and I love my little gym, but I just kind of go and do the things that make me really happy.
Mhm.
Like there's a little bit of sweat, but there's just a lot of stretching and walking and functional movement and some core stuff. There's not any burpees or sprint work or.
Good.
Well, I'm just saying that I'll get there with you. And so I can see my CrossFit gym as I left my gym. And I called Jay. I said, hey, do you think it ever can work to go backwards? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'd like to go. I'm already burnt from what I told you. Like, I'm trying to thwart his path on exercise, and it's like trying to fit a square, what is it, square peg in a round hole, or a round peg in a square.
Square and around.
So I am someone that likes to try to fit a square peg into a round hole. I don't learn. And so I said, do you think it ever can be successful to try to go backwards? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'd like to return to CrossFit. And so we just entered into this like kind of all day text and talk about this topic. And he was so kind. We woke up in the morning. He's like, I've been thinking on this all night. Something for me
Aw.
that it meant a lot to me.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And it's not that serious, but his thing is my back. He thinks I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw my back out or a shoulder. And so that was a lot of his concern, but he was like, "I think you can successfully go to something in your past and it worked this time because you're such a different person."
Right.
Maybe I said that. That does sound a little bit more like me, but I bet you he was thinking it.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we thought on it all day long. And I go, you know what? I think I'm trying to fix something that's not broken.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the heck out of myself. Go into this gym. I'm in a routine. I'm dialed in. I love it. I wake up every morning going, what cute little outfit should I wear? And what movements would feel so good today? And I'm really craving it and
Yeah.
enjoying it. And so, of course, I'm like, let's stop that
Uh,
and go to CrossFit.
that's I think
Do you relate to that?
I do because it's our self-sabotage.
Is it?
It is. We want to
Why though?
because I feel like it's that mindset of this activity will be better.
Yeah, grass is
I'm
greener.
yes, I'm doing well over here, but this is gonna make me even better.
Well, do you know the only reasoning was more probably impatience? Like maybe this will get me there, but I think CrossFit could get me there in a fourth of the time,
Yeah.
for summer, probably for
Yeah.
summer.
We want muscles, right, Jesse? We want those tank top
Oh,
muscles.
I do have another additive. A picture popped up on Facebook at the very end of my CrossFit journey. And I remember being at the end of CrossFit and just being like, why am I doing this? This is weightlifting that's keeping me heavier, bulkier. I don't know why I'm doing something that I know is keeping me from not reaching the goals that I have for myself. And this picture pops up, and it's probably 35 pounds ago. And so I, again, quit something that was
Mhm.
so good and healthy for me. One of my girls had quit something on behalf of mental health, and it was exercise based. And I told her sometimes we quit something not realizing it was kind of holding
Yeah.
us together. So if you feel like this is best, let's just watch it. Let's keep an eye on it. And that was the example I gave her. I quit this because I was heavy, and this picture is 35 pounds ago. So this just shows me that that wasn't the right step for me. So I'm like, I need to go back and right what was wrong. And we had to kind of discuss that.
You think about CrossFit,
Mm-hmm.
you do the same consistent
Mm-hmm.
group or the WODs, they call them WODs, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of built up of the same exercises every time you go in there, just maybe laid out differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think with fitness, it's the consistency
It
that
is.
builds it.
It is.
And sometimes, I can't work out by myself. If I
Mm-hmm.
walk into a gym, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, what do I do? I need someone to tell me what to do. And I think that's why I've stayed with boot camp so long,
Yeah.
is because they're doing they're laying it all out for
Yeah,
me.
for
And
sure.
so with CrossFit, I think when you go in there, well, you're building your shoulders, your back,
Mm-hmm.
like they're focusing on building those muscles
Mm-hmm.
and you're showing up.
Yeah, you're right. I used to say that consistency is so key. I used to say, I think you probably could just commit to 100 toe taps each leg each day. And at the end of the month, you would see a
Yeah.
huge change in yourself just because of simply showing up. It's
Mhm.
not really in the it's not really in the movements.
Right.
And I've been really approaching things so differently this time because it is a next time. It's a 50th start.
Yeah.
Do you know how many progress pictures I have on my
Oh,
phone?
I probably have just as many.
Befores?
Yeah. I
Befores?
have no
I have
afters.
no afters. There's no afters. Will there ever be afters?
I think we should just start taking a before on Monday and on Friday take an after. I think
Okay.
we got to do it.
Okay, and then you send it to me and I'll
Yes.
send it to you.
This is Monday and this is Friday.
You deal with something specifically spicy with your body,
Yes.
and we have it in our family, not as extreme as what you've described to me, but how do you say it correctly?
Lipedema,
See, I wanted to say lipo, like
which
for
some
liposuction.
yeah, some doctors will say
Good. I'm
lipedema,
glad I asked you.
but so I guess there's 2 ways. I've just always heard it called
I
lipedema.
want you to share your journey with that. I know. Can you?
Yes, I can share.
Okay.
So probably I've had this since I was a teenager and didn't realize
Really?
it. My bottom half of my body from the waist down,
Mhm.
I could never tone, I could never lose weight. I could lose tons of weight from the waist up, but my body below just stayed the same.
Right.
So I just assume this is just life. You
Sure.
just go
Or
through it,
genetics.
something.
Yeah.
And so you just go through life thinking this is how it is.
Yeah.
In 2023, I started having so much swelling in my legs, and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, something's going on, something's wrong." And I came across somebody's Instagram reel, and they're talking about lipedema, and I'm looking at her body, and I'm like, "That is exactly what I look like."
Right.
And she starts talking about the
Thank
swelling
God
on
for
all yes, all the things that she's describing. I'm like, "This is what I'm going through." So, I sent her a message and she was like, "You need to go and get diagnosed, and then everything from there will start rolling." And
wow.
so I had to go to a vascular doctor. They did a whole um, ultrasound on my legs for veins to make sure everything, was healthy and that. And he took one look at me though, and he was
He
like,
did.
"Yeah,
Tell us your symptoms. Tell us symptoms that somebody could.
you think it's cellulite,
Okay.
and it's not. So your legs are just very,
Our cat.
very lumpy. And so if I rub my hands across my thighs, you just feel bumps,
Okay.
nodules,
Okay.
and it's painful to squeeze my legs at all. Sometimes my husband will be ever loving and come and like squeeze me, and I'm like, "Oh, that hurts so bad."
For real.
So that part, you just sensitive. My legs bruise very
Do
easily.
they?
And then some days they feel like 1,000 pounds.
They do.
So walking, mobility can be difficult. And I think this is why I refuse to stop,
Yeah.
why maybe I show up, because mentally I'm like, if I stop, I'm not going to be able to go anymore.
Meg, you showing up is an understatement. You show up in this capacity more than yours. I'm just so thankful to be friends with you because I get to watch you and it is so inspiring. And I don't even think I told you guys a minute ago, but she's doing this at her class was at 4:45 in the morning on a freezing morning,
Oh,
on a hot morning, on a rainy morning, you're doing a 4:45. There was a TikTok the other day that was asking for the meanest thing your coach ever said to you. And of course, I had many coaches, but my favorite was my dad in college. And he told me and my girlfriend Casey, he told us we were messing with him. It was provoked. I need to lead with that. We were messing with him because he would run before practice. We had a track that went over the basketball court. He would run he's a good friend of mine, so I have to do all this. I can't just trash him. And he would run and we would say, "Look at them pretty legs. Look at them pretty legs." He had these little pretty muscular legs. And he told the two of us, "At least the line of my leg is not a straight line from my hip to my ankle."
what?
Mm-hmm.
I would have curled up in the corner
I
and cried.
did.
I would have
I
cried.
did.
Oh,
Yep. I'll never forget it, but he wasn't wrong. My grandma passed these calves down to us, and I used to say, when I have money, we will fix
yeah.
these calves. But now I've embraced them. Jay loves them, and they're me, and they're gonna be my kids, and
Girl, you got muscular calves.
we'll compare later. You're not knowing what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I'll have to
I've
look at
got
them.
some pants on. Um, you have some future stuff coming up with your lipedema.
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
So, with lipedema, diet and exercise will not get rid of
It
it.
won't.
No. So once you have it, you have it. Now you can maintain the lipedema and help it not spread through diet and exercise.
Okay.
Um, I have to wear these special compressions and to keep the fluid moving because there's a breakdown in my lymphatic system.
Okay.
There's something that's blocking it because your lymph nodes carry the fat to get out to your body, to your liver and to your pancreas and all of that. And so there's a breakdown somewhere that's not allowing it to do its job. So I wear these compressions that keep the fluid moving. You pee all day.
Do you?
Yes. So that means it's working.
Yeah.
And so then I go once a week to physical therapy and they do a manual lymphatic drainage on me.
What does that look like?
So she starts at the top and works her way down and just pushes the fluid.
Is it armpits and clavicle and groin? And I've been trying to do it on
Yes.
TikTok.
So you kind of
Is that
start.
real?
Yes,
It's good?
it's good for you.
I thought it was juju and I just wanted to
No.
try it.
I think every woman
I
should.
do it while I drive.
Because I feel like even with breast cancer, it helps
Really?
just keep
I do.
everything flowing.
I
So
do it while I drive.
yes, good.
Thanks, Lovey.
Yes, I love it.
Take us through a quick session.
So you start here.
Okay, you have to. Is that important to start on the neck?
Yes.
Okay.
Because your main lymph nodes are in your belly.
Okay.
So you should start breathing deep.
Start breathing deep.
Couple times,
Okay.
and then you start at the top.
Okay.
So
She's doing. If you're listening, she's doing right under her jowl,
right
on
under
her neck.
Yep, right along under your ears, and you just kind of 5 or 6 times, and then your shoulders back here.
Okay, I don't do that one.
I can't do both at the same time.
No.
But you just do 5 or 6 pumps.
Okay.
And then you go under your arms.
I do that one.
And you pump, and then you come to your chest.
Okay.
You rub there, and then you go down.
This girl taps on her clavicles.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
You can, whatever's comfortable for you, just doing it
Got it.
is important.
Okay.
Then you go down to your belly and your
Okay.
groin, and you push it up from there.
Towards your heart.
Towards your heart. And then you come back, and then you rub your chest to end
Again?
it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you just do your breathing to end it.
Got it.
And so that kind of helps. Like if you're waking up in the morning, every morning with a puffy face, you do this, that will remove that fluid.
Have you seen the girls that are putting hair ties on their ears?
What?
Yeah, they put hair ties on their ears for 30 minutes and it removes the puffiness from their face. I've tried it twice and I can't last.
No, wait.
I can't last more than 20
You
seconds.
have done this.
I've tried it. I can't do it. It hurts.
How insane, Jessie.
Well, but if you see the videos, I mean, it's not just one person, it's everyone.
You believe it.
No, I'm just telling you what.
Jessie.
I'm just telling you. Do you know how desperate you get?
Yes.
When you
Yes.
like, I wanted to do a little branding shoot, and a few weeks ago, and I woke up. I hadn't slept one moment. It was just I'm a good sleeper, but I had one weird night where I didn't sleep one moment. And I had started my period that morning. So think of the face I
Yeah.
woke up with. And I had to just be like, our photographer, her name's Annie. I just had to text her and be like, Annie, I'm so sorry. The face that you would dread for a branding shoot is what I have right now. Yeah. So yeah, desperation
Yeah.
will bring you to these measures to try what they're saying. But who knows? The reason I did try it is because I wanted to know, because
Yeah.
they can't film themselves for 30 minutes or just doing before and afters. But I do, just like the tapping and I do want to know. We're staring at a vibration plate.
Yes.
You know how we kind of are like, if it'll work, I'll
Mhm.
try it.
Yeah, no. I have a lot of tools.
Do
at
you? I
home.
do too. I
Yeah.
do too.
Jeff's like, my room. We need this to be our room. And I'm like, well, this is like my
This
safe
is
haven.
my room, Jeff.
Haven.
I know there's a fascia blaster. I knew this lady that every time I went to the sauna, she was in there and she'd sit in the sauna and she would use this tool that had like fingers and she would do her thighs. And I was like, girl, add to cart. And I go to Amazon and it was like $60.
Holy
and I was
cow.
like, why is I just was mad. I
Yeah.
was like, why is a piece of plastic $60? But I do want it.
Mhm.
I'm like, why can't I have to get Nina Pull to find a dupe? We need a
There's
dupe.
gotta be. There's gotta be.
There has to be
Mhm.
something around the house that we could use as
Maybe
it.
the pasta fork, the pasta.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is that called? The
Ladle
yeah,
or
where
I don't know. I
it's
don't
just the pasta.
mhm.
The pasta scoop.
Do you do you? Because I do you struggle with a negative self-speak, negative, mean, um, inner mean girl?
Oh, all day, every
Do
day.
you? Do
Yes,
you?
I do.
Have you set out to try to figure that out, or do you feel like you're kind of in a season where it's gotcha?
I here's the sad part, Jesse. I've gone through all the counseling and got all the tools in my
Mhm.
toolbox.
We've got big, heavy
Yes,
toolboxes.
yes.
Sometimes they're just it's easier to just leave them at home
Yeah.
in the bottom of the closet.
I'm tired.
They're there.
Yeah, I'm tired. I feel like I have
Hey, maybe tomorrow.
yeah.
We'll put pen to paper tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's good.
I feel like, I want to have times where I can wallow
Yeah.
because I think sometimes that's good for the
How
soul.
long is this time?
Well, I mean,
Is it
I'm there for a couple days right now. This is helping
Then
though.
but I am so glad you're here
Yeah.
because I told you I just couldn't wait for you to come and like get to catch up because you were like, we can reschedule for the storm, but if you want to, I want to. And I was like, God, I want to
Yes.
so bad. Like, I just wanted to see you so badly. The whole time you're talking, I'm like, your curls are so pretty and your face looks so pretty. And I miss you so damn much.
I put makeup on for Jessie today. I don't wear mascara ever. I told her I have my mascara on.
Do you know, I follow like Mel Robbins' 5-second rule and listen to Dax Shepard has Armchair Expert. It's a lot on
I love that.
do you
I
a lot
haven't listened in a while, but
yeah,
that's one of my
just
favorites.
such a healthy mental health, but they help me so much in my mental health journey, but however, they like to talk about when you have the tools and you
Mhm.
choose to be defiant and not
Yeah.
use them, what is that? You know? Like what is it when Mel, if y'all know Mel Robbins, she does a 5-second rule. And I don't know how to explain it, but it started with her trying to stop snoozing her alarm and get out of bed. And she thought, I'm going to count down from 5 and I'm going to shoot out of this bed like a rocket ship. And it applies to that and so many other things. And the question is, if you know now you've tested it out
Mm.
and you know that it works, why don't you use it? Like, if you know the tool
Yeah.
works, if you know that all of those tools in your toolbox are good, why don't you use them? Why don't I use them?
Yeah.
You know?
I think I get tired
Mhm.
because I have to use it all day some days.
Yep.
And you're just striving just to find that place where you can finally breathe.
Mhm.
And you get there and you just let that guard down
Yep.
and you think, okay, this is great.
Mhm.
And then everything comes back up again.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, I don't want to go through this process again.
Yep.
I'm just going to sit in this for a while.
Yeah, sit and waller, the
Yeah.
waller. Yeah, one of my kids, this was years ago, but one of my kids was heading for an anxiety attack. And I just said, what do we smell? What can we hear? What do we feel? What can we see?
Yeah.
And they were like, I don't care. And I was
Yeah.
like, and I don't either. What next? What can we I don't care what I smell. Like they
Yeah.
were like, get out of here with
Yeah.
that. They weren't ready.
Yeah.
And I was like that, they for that moment, But I was like, yep, that's such a funny picture of what mom does when I'm supposed to use
Yeah.
when I'm so even my little girl, she started her first job today and I said, "Don't forget your breathing." And she goes, "I don't breathe." And she got out of the car and I was like, "That's my girl. That's my girl." She gets that rebellion from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know my therapist? She always works on that topic. She's like, you're not going to not be rebellious.
Mhm.
Obviously, this is your MO. So why don't you turn that into a rebel marriage? Your second marriage is not going to look like other second marriages. All second marriages head for divorce as fast as possible if you don't do the work. Be a rebel. Don't be like that.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
I do too, and so I even have it written on my bathroom wall, "Rebel Marriage," and so just turning that use trying to spin that rebellion into something
Mhm.
good, Stats right now are obesity rates are so high, sedentary living is so high, phone addiction is so high. What if we could rebel against that,
Yeah,
you know? You want to?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to tell you I even wrote it down for you, but this is one of my absolute favorite quotes on exercise and wellness, but it's from Ben Tal Shahar. And it was actually he was on Armchair Expert with Dax and Monica, and he said, physical activity is more potent than any psychiatric drug we possess. And I believed it then, and I believe it now. And it's how I try to help my girlfriends, when they're going through something. I'm like, um, right after he shared this quote on the show, Dax said, whenever a friend approaches them in the weeds, in the woods, in the midst of the struggle, he'll say, I want you to go put in an hour of good physical
Yeah.
activity, and I want you to come back to me, and then we'll talk about it. And so that is what I try to tell my children, like, let's knock out 25 deep squats and 10 deep breaths, and then let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Let's blare some music and do that. And then my girlfriends that are just in the depths of it, I'm like, let's just make sure this isn't a physical thing. And so I was a personal trainer for like 15 years. And so I'll just send them it's sounding like I'm a very annoying friend,
No, you're the best.
but I do send like, hey, why don't we do like 200 jumping jacks? I'll do it with you here in my space. And let's do 200 jumping jacks and 50 lunges. And then we'll get on the phone and have coffee and talk. What do you think? What do you think about that? And so I've always been you and I geek out over this.
Mhm.
I've always been obsessed with it. And I'm just thankful that what we are obsessing over is so helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Saving.
that's why I wake up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
I think because I work full time, a lot of times I'm sitting all day, and so I think if the first thing in the morning I can do is move my body and clear my mind, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have a more successful day. My mood's
Mm.
gonna change. Granted, by 6 p.m., I'm dead
You're so
tired.
tired. Jay has your schedule also, and I got a little sad because selfishly sad, but our night routine is Netflix and wine for
Yeah.
me, and he's wanting to go to bed by 8 o'clock, and I'm like, but it's
Mhm.
a give and take because I want my husband to take care of himself he's older than me, and I want to have this really wonderful life with
Yeah.
him, quality of life, and but you fell in love with getting up early.
Yeah,
You
and
did?
I didn't. I was never that way. I have 4
Mhm.
kids, so,
Yeah.
like, raising them, the first 3 were 2 years apart, so it
Mhm.
was just sleep deprived for 10 years, I felt
Yeah.
like, and then we decided, "Oh, let's have another one," when I was finally sleeping.
Sure.
So, I just think nighttime, staying up late was just my happy place because I
Mine too.
found peace and solitude at the end of a hectic day with 4 kids,
Mhm.
and then, we were doing 8:30 workouts when I started, and I think
Yep.
that was a good place to start, and then I got this job, and I
Mhm.
was like, "I can't keep I can't keep not going, I wanna work." Like you I think I built that habit or that crave to
Mhm.
want it, and I was like, "Dang it, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to wake up
Yeah.
early."
And you guys have pivoted on your classes.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So, we have a new trainer, and he loves to run.
Which didn't work for Meg, but for
Right.
me would have been my favorite option.
So one of my,
Takes all kinds of
it
kinds.
does.
Yeah.
One of my friends posted, like, Wednesday, they did a 5K, like,
Give it to me.
their workout, and
Give
I
it to
was
me.
like, "Holy
You're
cow."
you're explaining this is what's so funny and what makes life so interesting, and J. Michael says it takes all kinds of
Yeah.
kinds. You're describing to me why you lovingly needed to pivot. You're selling me on this person.
Yeah,
You're selling me on a program.
show up.
Is
Do
that
it. I
crazy?
love it.
And I told the reason we talked this week is after that long day of consulting with Jay about this decision, he goes, "You need to start Camp Gladiator." And I was like, I don't think Meg would appreciate that very much because she's done it religiously for like 5 years
Mhm.
and now has pivoted to something in her garage.
Yeah.
And so, would you like me calling you and saying, now that you're
Listen,
when you've begged me to join back with
I would be okay with it because if it's something
you
you
would not?
love,
Because guess what I'm doing?
you're changing up.
No, I'm going to your place and I'm gonna get really close to all your friends.
You
I'm gonna take all of them and I'm gonna take pictures and put it on Facebook. And I'm gonna say, me and my friends at Camp Gladiator.
It's true, and then I'm gonna be like, "All right, I'm coming
I'm
back.
going back.
I'm
I
going
will I
back."
will learn how to be a runner.
I'm going
It's
back.
it's funny what we say we'll be okay with
Yeah.
versus when that little thing happens and you're like, "Oh
Mm,
gosh," because I played the tape in my head when you said you because I ran boot camps. I
mhm.
led boot camps. We moved out to a little area that didn't have much of a gym population, and so I started boot camps in the parking lots. This was like in 2009 or 10, and so he knows that that's in my
Yeah,
blood. I love a good
yeah,
parking lot sprint,
yeah.
and, so he's like, "You need to go to Camp Gladiator." I said, "You know who would appreciate that one? Not very much." And so that's why I called Meg and I told her this story.
Oh, I mean, if it made you happy, Jessie,
Yes,
it made you happy.
I did have two couples from our inner circle start attending our church months after we left that church.
Oh,
We'd been at and Meg and I were at the same church, but I think we were there for our family was there for probably 8 years, and, we walked away from the doors and turned the page, and about a month later,
mm,
2 couples from our inner circle started going. That's a booger to
yeah,
me.
yeah,
That's a booger because
yeah.
I wanna sit right by them
Yeah, of course.
and sing with them, and so that's been really, really tough.
You just gotta coerce them to come
Uh,
with you. You're
to
like, "You tried that, now
to my
come."
bed
Yes.
to my bed
I
on
mean,
Sunday morning.
what more sacred sanctuary with the Lord than your
Yeah.
bed?
Yeah,
Really is.
we have done a whole episode over on Jay and I's podcast about, where we are with our church right now, but I will tell you that in this hiatus, because you guys are I need to hear presently what y'all are doing, but you guys walked through something pretty similar as us, so I know you can relate. But talk about going from the crazy, screaming, rushing, no one is excited about this, no one is getting
Yeah,
along Sunday morning
yeah.
to to the most calm,
Mhm.
loving, making memories and making bacon in the kitchen while the kids are hanging out and
Yeah,
that is tough for me, really tough, especially because that's what our family, our blended family needs.
yeah.
And Jay works his butt off 6 days a week.
Mhm.
And so on that 7th day, to not have that crazy morning. Now, I know when we return to a church, we will return to it differently
Yeah,
with a bigger appreciation
absolutely.
and a different heart, and we won't do those crazy mornings. I know for sure we even went to church last week and we had a lovely time. Um, so it will look different, but I do have a hard time reasoning that.
Oh, think about in the beginning,
Mhm.
Adam and Eve walked in the garden.
Yeah.
I think that was
Mhm.
where they
They're so
found
beautiful.
that that that's where God's presence was. And I think
Mhm.
sometimes here in this lovely states of America,
Yeah.
we make it to be something that I think it was never intended to be.
Mhm.
His
Yep.
presence is for us to feel like he's walking with us and we're
Mhm.
spending those sweet moments with him
Mhm.
making, the bacon in the kitchen, the
That's
kids.
different for everyone.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everybody's gotta find what that looks like, and to me, I mean, what you're describing is
Mhm.
what, we're walking through.
Is it
Yes, and I think that these are moments that we've
that
never had
connection? Mhm.
before because we were so busy about
Yeah,
church instead
yeah.
of just soaking in those moments in the
Mhm.
presence.
Right.
So,
You'll have kids home from college,
yeah.
and you don't wanna you just don't wanna miss out on any minutes, but that connection, when you're talking, all I hear is connection,
Yeah.
connection, and so that actually does bring me to the way that I wanted to finish out this episode, and I'm so thankful. Y'all, she showed up with tacos. If that doesn't tell you more about Meg, I can't even explain what I said. Let's do 12 o'clock. She said, I'm bringing tacos.
Absolutely.
And so thank you for driving out here in the rain, Meg. And I want to finish with definitely, I'm not tricking you on this one, a lighter topic, but with our show being on connection and the way that we all interact with each other and the way we're all walking this earth around each other.
Mhm.
What is a way this week that you felt connection and it almost took you by surprise?
Mm.
You have anything like that? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I can go first
Yeah.
if it'll help you
Go ahead. You go
cue.
first.
I took the kids and my niece to Minecraft last night, and I didn't know what I was headed for. Addie, did you expect it to be like that? She's saying no. We sat down and the movie starts, and the crowd, there was probably 150 people in there, all, high school
Yeah.
boys, a lot of high school Big Bang Theory boys. It was very
That is
fun.
funny.
I
I'm
love Big.
thinking like Cooper and Cash's
Nope,
age,
nope, 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 nope.
older kids.
Nope, right,
Okay.
Addie? High school,
I mean, I
college.
guess Minecraft came out when they
Yes.
were kids, so that would make sense.
Yes, and
Okay.
Big Bang is the background of my home, so I'm just like, I'm in heaven, and but they it was a different population, and so they open the video, the crowd goes insane, screaming, clapping. This person starts yelling this one's yelling this. They all take turns yelling things, different things that are representative to Minecraft and that I don't know
Yeah.
anything. And every few minutes of the movie, something neat would happen and everyone would lose their mind and just cheer and be happy. I was constantly asking Cash, what happened? And he's like, Mom, I don't know how to explain it. And I'm like, okay. And like, I don't want to bother you, but
Yeah.
like, why are they so excited? And it was just funny to see that. But however, we left there. I didn't need to know. I didn't need to
Yeah.
know. I felt the connection surpassed the knowing. And I told them, I wish we could stay and see it replay
Yeah.
again and be a part of the next crowd. It was so fulfilling. And the connection was just really neat. And I could tell my kids were just
Oh,
having the
I love
nicest
it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely did surprise me because I didn't wanna go. I
Yeah.
didn't tell Addie this, I didn't wanna go. It was raining, Jay wasn't going, he was watching girls' basketball, that's my favorite. I wanted to ask Addie to take the kids, and I was gonna stay home with Jay, and I was like, "Nope, I committed." I'm always like, "Let your yes be yes," and so I didn't wanna cancel. Gosh, I'm so glad I didn't cancel. It was so I'll go back.
Now I need to go.
Well,
I need to go.
who of your crew would love it?
Oh, all of
All
them.
of them.
Yeah, because they
Would
all
Connor?
yeah, so Connor and Cooper share birthday weeks, like, they're
Yeah,
so I had asked Connor, "Hey, Cooper would really love to go see Minecraft," and I was trying to pawn it off
that was trying to pawn it off on
on
Addie.
him, so I think now I'm gonna have to go.
Do you mind going and then calling
Yeah,
me
I'll let you know.
after, or do you
Yeah,
mind if I go with you?
I mean, you definitely can. You
Because
definitely can.
now I know what to shout out, right, Ad? I know what to I might
Now we need to go to McDonald's and get the boxes, and I mean, like, this has been
we got the meals on Tuesday.
and you got your Minecraft
Yeah.
figurine.
Yep,
Okay, I'm
yep.
gonna have to do it.
Do you
So
have anything like that this week?
I work for local yoga downtown McKinney
Yes, one of
and
our favorite spots.
in their accounting department. And so we're in the process of finding a new general manager for our burger location. So I've been filling in.
Oh,
So this
wow.
has been all new
Are
to
you
me. Yeah,
serious?
so Tuesday was my first, morning shift, and Thursday was my nighttime shift, so, was not looking forward to Thursday because I go to bed at 8 p.m., and I knew I was gonna be there till 11. So, I get there, and immediately the manager who's on duty morning shift is like, "Hey, this lady just called, and they're gonna be a party of 30 come in tonight around 7:30." And I start freaking out, like, I'm not a restaurant manager, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
how to do this. So, pulled everybody together, and we came up with a plan, and, like, it was great,
Meg.
it was great. So, the lady comes in and she already has everybody's order, so it's real easy for us, so we put everything in and, like, we come up with a system where we put the name with the order, so then when we're in the back expoing, like, putting the fries and the burgers together, we put the
Yes.
name on the burger, so everything was flawless, like, I could not have
Stop.
asked for a um better night in a
The
restaurant
way it
or the way
flowed
it flowed, everybody just came
like
together.
a living organism.
Yes.
That's so nice.
So I go out and I'm greeting the table after they have the food and everything, asking how it is, and I go, where are you guys coming from? Like, what is this group?" And this sweet little girl goes, "Well, it's our rehearsal dinner." And I'm like,
Meg.
"What?" And so, she goes, "Yeah, we're getting married tomorrow." These kids looked like 21, 22.
What?
Sweet, cute little group of kids, and then you had the
No.
grandparents and uncles and aunts at one table and another table with kind of a
Mm-mm.
mixture of
Meg.
people, and so I
That's
was
beautiful.
like, "This is great
I would
that."
wanna do that again the next night.
Yes. I go to the back and I'm like, "We gotta do something for them. This is so
Yeah.
special."
That's what I thought. Why didn't they say?
They didn't. So I was like, "We gotta give them churros on the house." So we go out and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you guys some churros on the house. Who wants them?" And everybody wanted them. So I
Of
was like,
course they
"Alright." I
did.
said 30 churros. So we're in the back and we're putting those churros in the fryer and we're taking them out. And I mean, it was just the best night.
And how unexpected.
Unexpected. It could have been completely chaotic, and it just ended to be perfect.
I love that, Meg. Cash is in choir. He's our first kid that's in choir. He's our youngest, and he's in choir. And he's in seventh grade choir. And some concerts, they will combine everyone, sixth grade through 12th. Some will just be like seventh and eighth. Well, on this very night, it was very long and it was 6 through 12, but it was totally fine. But at the end of the night, I was so thankful that they combined because we have large choirs. We have a lot of participation. Are any of your four in?
No, I wish,
It was not my doing.
because I was choir.
I don't know why he did this. He's
Great.
always been able to carry a tune, but either way, they had been practicing this song for a long time. It was Christmas, so it was one of those beautiful. It's the
Mm.
song you're thinking of, and I'll put it on social media. I'll put this video on social media when we release this. But so think of 250 kids where you would never be able to pick out Cash
Mm.
standing on a stage a cappella singing this Christmas song.
Oh,
And we were walking to, I mean, we bawled our eyes
yeah.
out and we were walking to the car and I said, it was just me and him. And I go, "You're hooked." And he's like, "Yes, ma'am." And I was like, there's just something about it. Even lately, I've been looking for like sing alongs or theater sing along pop ups in
Oh, I
Dallas. We
love
need
it.
to find that, Addie,
Yeah,
next time. Go find something.
yeah,
So, but Meg, I'm just so thankful to you. And I already said this, but I'm thankful to you for our genuine and our authentic friendship that
yeah.
we never do surface speak or small talk. We frankly don't have time for
Nope.
it. And I cherish you.
Mm.
And I'm so thankful that you did this with
Well,
me.
thank you for having me. This was
Yeah,
fun.
you're
So,
amazing.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. And I love y'all. And thank y'all for listening today. And I'm going to see you guys in a couple of weeks.